Nothing reminds me more of my childhood than the smell of brownies cooking in the oven. That was my mom's go-to treat for after dinner. What wasn't to love about it? It's easy, quick, and delicious. I myself prefer a brownie warm out of the oven with a cold glass of juice, but I know a lot of people who like it with a big scoop of ice cream on top. But I still haven't met a person yet who doesn't at least like a brownie. The recipe that I'm using today has been used time and time again and is approved by a lot of my family and friends. It's always been a big hit for family meals and get-togethers. Gathering your ingredients takes no time at all. Although some people like to use the box, I found that it's actually more cost efficient to make them from scratch. I had everything on hand in my kitchen already, which makes this recipe even better because it doesn't need any special ingredients. For wet ingredients, you need 1/2 cup of salted butter, 1 tablespoon of cooking oil. I prefer coconut, but you can use olive or vegetable. 2 large eggs and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. For the dry ingredients, you need 1 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup flour, 1/2 cup cocoa powder, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. One of the biggest keys to making the perfect brownie is to mix the butter, egg, and sugar together very well. I stir mine very quickly for a full minute to ensure that it is evenly mixed. You want a nice, consistent texture all the way around. Lastly, you want to add your cocoa and flour and your other dry ingredients. You want to mix the cocoa and the flour in last so that you have the ability to not overmix them, because once your cocoa powder and your flour is in there, in order to get a fudgy brownie, you need to just mix it until everything is wet. Now, once you've preheated your oven to 350 degrees, you pick out your favorite pan and you grease it extremely well. You want to make sure that you don't drop your cooking oil in the batter and that you get all of the creases and edges. That way it's nice and evenly coated. I use an olive oil cooking spray, but you can use any nonstick spray. My favorite pan is a 9x9 pan that you see here, but some people prefer to make bigger pans. And if you want thinner brownies, you can mix your batter into 2 pans. Once the pan is greased, you just need to evenly distribute your brownie mix into the pan. You can pat it down on the countertop a few times to even it out, but again, you don't want to overmix it, so try not to stir it in. Once the pan is done, then you're going to place your pan on the top rack of your preheated oven to 350 degrees for 20 to 25 minutes. I like my brownies moist, fudgy, and sometimes where you can eat them with a spoon. I found that 20 to 22 minutes is best for me, but if you bake it a little longer, you will get a more cake-like consistency in your brownies. Once you think your brownies are ready to come out of the oven or the consistency that you want, then you can use a toothpick or a butter knife and dip into the center of your brownies. If that brownie comes back, if that knife or toothpick comes back clean or only slightly crumbly, then your brownies are done. And they're ready to come out of the oven. Just let them cool, cut them, and enjoy. In conclusion, the best thing about these brownies to me is how delicious they turn out after such little hassle. It's perfect for even the pickiest of children, and you can add items to make it special every time. My kids like to add chocolate chips to their brownies, and sometimes if we want marble brownies, we add white chocolate into the mix before we put it into the oven. Either way it goes, whether you like nutty brownies, extra chocolatey brownies, or anything like that, you'll love this recipe. You can do the same thing with peanut peanut butter chips, chocolate chips, even fruit. So the next time you have a late night sweet tooth, try throwing together these delicious brownies for the perfect fudgy treat.